Hey guys, welcome back. This is 6.5, and I'm here teaching and showing intermediates and beginners that you don't have to break the bank to learn how to make great quality music. Right now, I'm using demos and free software to learn how to make your music so that when you want to really hone your craft, you know what to do, and when you go into professional arenas, you know exactly what to do, and you don't have to buy the expensive equipment and stuff like that to learn how to mix professionally. These techniques are universal, and you can take what you want and discard the rest, or you could discard the whole thing. It really doesn't matter. But I know there are a lot of people who really want to learn how to mix, but they think that they have to get the popular, expensive DAW to feel official. I would have fallen into that trap way early in my career, and it really didn't work, honestly. Uh, but I'm hoping that someone would see this and they would get the motivation and do the practical to learn their craft. If you want to be a mixing engineer, uh, you don't have to. Like I can't stress it enough. You don't have to spend a whole big set of money. Laptop, they're free software and they're demos that you can learn how to mix. When you're ready to make your money and stuff, you can buy the paid programs. You can even pull the triggers on the demos and stuff, and you can buy them if you know exactly how to use them. One of the beautiful things about this is that you, when you practice on something, you get so accustomed to it. Like you say, okay, I have to get this the full version. If you have a limited version or a demo version, like so there's always a win-win situation. Anyhow, enough of the ranting, but I really think it's vital because like people would really, especially in the beginning stages, or I have to get uh the paid programs and stuff like that, and they spend a lot of money and then they get disappointed, they get buyer's remorse, and yeah. Anyhow, enough ranting, enough ranting. Uh, right. So using Reaper's demo to learn, to show you that it's fully featured, and they're very gracious to extend the demo to unlimited. Um, this is one of the better DAWs, or one of the best DAWs in the world. Comparable to other programs. I really don't want to get into the different arguments and stuff, but yeah, this gives you the power to use the demo to an extended period. So learn from it. I would have used some free software, and I'm using some demo software. Uh, okay, so I'm not sure if I would have said it in um, the last tutorial, but this is Ozone 9, the demo version. I use it as a monitoring tool. It is demo, I haven't bought it, and it's showing me the levels. Let me show you what I mean. Right, see demo? Let me show you what I mean. Right. So as you can see, they're showing me levels of the bass, mids, and highs, hi hats. Suddenly the OTT, Ableton has one ish, but I'm not using it as a multi-band compressor, but I'm using the multi-band compressor as a metering tool, so I could know exactly what is the standard. Remember, I would have said that you can make professional music, and this is one of the ways that you can learn. I would have gotten this from the Jason Joshua, the 6.5 industry meter touching up to my something I wrote there. But I would have modeled it off of the people who would have modeled uh, Jason Joshua's uh, God Particle, and I would have did a little tweaking, little tweaking, little tweaking, and I would have used it just to get the metering. When I get the metering right, I know that I'm right. I don't need the sauce. I think that I've developed an ear that I could do the sauce to a good preference, but metering is very, 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 very important. So yeah, so I'm using this as a metering tool. Uh, Otherwise, as a mastering program is excellent, but like I said, this is a demo, and I'm just showing you how to learn how to mix from the demo. Uh, if you can't afford the God particle or the ozone itself, you could, well, from 9 down, not 10 and up. They don't, well, the 10 doesn't have it has a trial version but not an extended demo version. And yeah, so anyhow, put this back over here. But this is what I use to meter. uh there's something else that I use, but I got it when it was free, and it's called Audio Lens from iZotope. If you want industry standard, or you have a song that you want to mimic the tonal balance, no, it's not the tonal balance. It's called Audio Lens, where it gives you tonal balance of the songs that you want to use. And yeah, well, it's not free, but I got it when it was free. But I'm just showing you the free alternatives that you can use, right? So yeah, okay, back to this. Right. All right. So what I want to show you today, I would have taken the liberty to do a couple adjustments with the vocals and with other things, because I tell myself like this taking real long though. Like yeah. And so what I did, I just did a couple things with leveling. I call it gain staging. I called it gain staging, but it's more of leveling. Leveling is extremely important, and yeah, it's something that you should learn as a beginner, and you would refresh yourself as an intermediate. One of the more important things in mixing is leveling, the very first thing, and then it boils down after, even after the EQing and the compression and the special effects. You still got to get your volume right so that you can hear everything in great context. All right, so enough of that. There is a solo part in this song, and it is extremely tempting to just leave it as it is. But if you really want to get to a certain level, I think that you got to do the hard parts. And this is called automation. Automation works when you have solo parts. The automation works when you have something that you want to mess around with, volume wise and even panning wise. But people use it mainly for volume. You can use it for any other thing, and it really brings out characters of tones, and bring up the volume of say like a vocal that it has a solo, and you want it to make sure that particular part gets that particular attention. Yeah, that's what automation helps bring out. So there's a guitar solo and a piano solo in here, and I'm gonna give you a little play. No, you want the guitar to shine. In rock, remember the guitar is probably the one of the biggest lifebloods of the mix. So what you want to do is go here, first highlight the guitars, and is shift and click. Right, so I highlighted two of them, one, two, and then you go here and you right click and you go to right record. Well, it's not going to show it in this box. Okay, it goes. It is right record fader positions arm. Anyhow, bram. This is what happens. Right. So now this is you can do it live. There's a lot of ways that you can bring out the guitar. One of the ways is this. The other way you can work a lot harder, where you can uh duplicate the tracks, cut out, automate, and then turn up the volume so that it is there. It depends on the sort of effect that you want. Um, or you could just make those two tracks, these two tracks here, uh, as a mix down, and then you could just turn up to super. There's a lot of ways you could get it done, but this here is the easiest way, and I don't think it would interfere with the final mix per se. But anyhow, you're right to enable it, and you press play. Now you have to be, one of the things is that you have to be very careful with this, but there's also the edit button where you can delete what you have done. But this makes it extremely easy. Does do it live? It's sort of like, old school, but it works. All right, let me go. Right. You can see what I did there. Honestly, I cannot remember. I got to delete everything. Well, I'm going to delete it and put it back because I can't remember what I started with. That is really bad. So give me a second and I'll get back to you in like a blood. That's right. Okay. So I would have made the adjustment, and yeah, it's just a decibel over the original signal, but I would have done it. Okay, so then next is the piano. You do the same thing. Note taking is very, very important also. Yeah, so always take notes and save. Yeah, file. Where is the save? Where is the save? Save project. Very, 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 very important. Okay, right. So you do that and click, clack. Good. So there's a piano solo also. 452 is the 452 is noted, and you play. Actually, when this plays, you will see the automation from here. For the guitar, and then I would just do a live for the piano. There we go. Okay, all right. That didn't go according to what I expected, but it's life, and you got to deal with the mistakes and everything that comes with it. Still gonna save it. File, save. It just comes with the territory of mixing. Okay, click. Go back to read. Right, and it's gonna read the information and stuff like that. 452. Right, and yeah, okay. You would have heard. You can see the information right here. Scroll, scroll. You can see all the information right here. Right, so yeah, you can go back and you can edit when you want or where you want and stuff like that. It's cool because I could actually go back and put it to where I want it to be. But I just want to show you the basics of how to do it, and then you could go and fine tune it. That's going to take a lot of time, but you know that's okay. But yeah, I just wanted you to get the gist of it, of automation. So this is one of the main things, right? I was saying, get a lot caught up. You would hear a dropout or something. That was a dropout of the snares for some strange reason. The snares dropped out here, so I will have to be able to put or re-put something right there. But again, this is just a tutorial of the basics to teach you how to learn to mix professionally. And yes, you can say, well, why not just show us how to get that done? Got us our time right now. Okay, but yeah, probably in another tutorial, trying to cut this short, or to be as basic and concise as possible, trying to put as much information in there as possible. Okay, so let's play. Okay, you can hear the difference. You hear it up front, in your ears, in your face. That's where you want the solo to always be, like in your face, but it's obviously not too loud, but it's noticeable, very, very noticeable. Turn on the stereo, see how different it sounded. That's one of the beauties of leveling. Again, staging, but leveling. I like the word term leveling better. And yeah, that's how it works. If you remember, it has to be upfront and you can experience it like if it's live, but it's in your ears, basically. All right. So yeah. Okay. So after that, you just do a little leveling because all the compression and everything already done, and the queuing already done. I'm not going to do a mix bus on this one. I almost wanted to, but sometimes you don't have to. That's if you want an extra sauce, probably select for bass to make it sound a certain way and all that there. So yeah, all right. So there you have the mix. Let's play. that's basically it. The leveling looks pretty okay. What you can also do is reference it with other other software, get the demos and try them out. Get the God particle, get the God particle. It's a 15-day demo or so. Test it out with that and see how much you can maximize with it while you have the demo. So you could pull the trigger and say, yes, I can buy it, and buy it if you want to. Uh, let's see, there is something called the coherence meter by Hornet. You can use that to see if it's master ready. All this is mixing to mastering, right? I'm not a mastering engineer. I've not found any free software. I have a workaround, but it's totally underground. But I have it with an Icon Master, and yeah, that's it. Not illegal. It's just underground, and yeah, again, it's all about learning. It's all about learning and using what you have till you get what you want. Anyhow, that's not why I said all that. But basically, metering to see if you have the right levels, radio quality levels, let's call it streaming ready levels. Yeah, this right here. I want to show it to the guys. I can't remember who the name. I think one is Help Me Devon. And there's another guy I can't remember his name, but they would have given the sauce to their take on the God particle, and like I said, I realized well the metering is just as important as the sauce, but I got the metering. You could copy it and get the metering, and I mean if you don't, if it doesn't appeal to you, like okay, cool, get through. There's Sonar Works. You could try Sonar Works. You could try Arc. There are different things that could get your sound, flat on the flat frequency. Hornet has one of VHS. I think that's what it's called. But I don't really try all those things. I have the headphones, and I just use this to meter, so I don't have to have. Right now, I got computer speakers. I had BX8s, and then I went to radio speakers. Normal radio speakers had, the biggest difference, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, or not correct me if I'm wrong, but you could mention your own opinions. But Kevlar, some of the differences. Yes, there's some differences where uh, the frequency response is different, but then you have to deal with the room. But with the BXs, I realized the head feature was it could take a pounding. The speakers can take a pounding. They could go up to 100 and something decibels. I had the BX8s. Yeah, but I realized that no, you don't. You just need the right sound. You need to know your speakers. And they were heavy. You can really carry them as much places as you wanted to. Moving was a hassle. But anyhow, I chose the radio speakers. Sony's, some cheap Sony's, and they did a good job. I mean, I put out songs on the radio and stuff, and remixes and things I played on the radio, and it's like, wow, cool, you know. But now I have the headphones, and I would have reference from Jason Joshua's metering, and that did a lot for my mixes. And yeah, so help me Devon and the other guy, I can't remember what his name is, to do the God particle for the referencing, for me for referencing. This is it. So you don't have to have $1 million studio to have good references. You can have Jason Joshua's referencing right here. And I could attest to even further, because I would have tested the Jason Joshua with the audio lens, and his mixes I would have downloaded from YouTube to test on the audio lens. Or even I don't even have to download them. I could have played them also, and yeah, they matched perfectly, and they are industry standard, So, but anyhow, you do your experiments, and you could work from there, right? Okay. So to find out if it's master ready, no. Right. For me, I am pretty confident. I would gotta do a little bit more tweaking and stuff, but After that, yeah, you can you can think if you want to put a limiter at the end, a limiter. Let me see. To for just to level it off. If you don't want to use a limiter, that's up to you. Add. Where is it? It is totally up to you. Where is totally up to you. What you can use and see, this is Air Windows. Air Windows software is superb. You could add this to your master to give it a nice punch and limit well. You have this thing where a rule of thought, a rule of thumb, sorry, where it says, you can't limit, you can't put a limiter on your mixes because your mastering engineer needs to have room. Yes, that's for when you have, well, it depends on the mastering engineer, and honestly, you're just doing it for streaming. And if you really want a certain sound, well, this is third hand information when they talk about a certain sound, because honestly, I think that when you're sending it off, they definitely need some headroom so that they can maximize the sound if they want. But to have it a little controlled, you can still put on the limiter or the compressor or whatever you want. It's entirely up to you if you want to. If you don't want to, it doesn't have to be a perfect mix that the transients aren't really hitting, because all you have to do is just lower down the volume and then send it off if you want. It depends. It just depends. There's no set rule to it. But for me, I would just leave it as that, or put a little NC17 here. This is all it is. This is all it is. Okay, and then let's play. This is it. That's it. It's not peaking, it's not clipping, sorry. And it's a little bit louder. And you can work with that there. To get the industry standard stuff, well, Audio Lens is not free anymore. But that's the best reference. There is a technique that I would have seen on YouTube actually used with Reaper. I'll have to get back to you on that so that you can see the tonal balance of it, because the thing is that you have to get the tonal balance correct so that you would know that you are matching the industry standard. Industry standard is what you're aiming to get. So for the amateur, beginner, to the intermediate, even if in the professionals, this is a refresher course or something new that you can learn. But yeah, so right, you could use this here. What else can you use? But for right now, yeah, so you could lower down the utility if you want. Utility actually lower down. I can't remember lowering this down, to be quite honest. Let me crank it up a bit. Let's just testing it out. I crank this up. Play. This is it. Yeah, tweaks and some more work, but yeah, that's the basics. Learn how to mix with the demo and the free software. You would learn how to do the kicks, the snares, the vocals. You know, it's just one of many ways that that you can do it. You know, and you could get a good start, a good sound, and at the end of the day, I really hope that this helps you to get a different perspective. You know, and don't give up, don't quit. It's a beginning. It's not finished, but I think that I spent long enough on this here, to be quite honest. Just some tweaks. Actually, the same automation with the guitars and the piano. I would have to do with the vocals. With this is it. To turn it up a bit. You know, that's another pointer right there. But yeah, it's a pretty okay start. And don't let your headphones fool you. Always, well, I don't want to say always mix with your eyes, but there's a point in time where you have to mix with your eyes if you don't have the ideal room. I would have given you the tool to use and some tips. So yeah, try it. Get some producer friends and some. It's very very important to get some mixing friends, like real life mixing friends and real life producer friends, real life mastering friends, and they would give you the tidbits that you need. There's this guy. There's some recording stuff that I would never forget, and he's a producer. Actually, he's do everything. Ugh, ranting again. But the thing is that there are things that he would have taught me, and he would have seen that I would have done. He said, or no, no, actually, he didn't never see. He just gave me the tidbits, and they stuck with me. You know, and to this day, when it comes to recording, you know, and yeah, it's good. It's good. YouTube and everything is okay, but to have these realized people that are in the business or have their foot wet already, or you know, or higher than you, higher level than you, yeah, do it. Especially those who went to school. And yeah, but anyhow, enough of the ranting. Enough of the ranting. This is basic, and I just hope that I've taught you something that you can do in the meantime till you scrape up the money or whatever to buy what you need, and then you could work and get your money on that. But for right now, learn on the demos. I encourage you to learn on the demos, learn with the free software, and learn with others. But when you're by yourself, learn with the demos, learn with the free software, and you can make the money from the free software. KWAP by BandLab is absolutely free. It is absolutely wonderful, actually. You can make your music with that. If it's a workflow that you, right. One of the reasons why I encourage you to learn with the demos also is uh to experiment what you're learning to do professional work. You can experiment with the other DAWs and the other software so that you can get the workflow. Whatever works for you, then you could pull the trigger and say, yes, buy it. I'm buying this. This works for me, and I'm comfortable with this. Right. So, right. So all the best. And this comes to the conclusion of this particular mini mix course. This is 6.5, and I'm wishing you all the best. And I'm gonna come with another mix tutorial or a mix course, and we'll be doing this all over again, probably with different plugins and stuff like that. But anyhow, this 6.5. It was a pleasure being here, and wishing you all the best again. 6.5 out.